So I'm going to talk about the changes to the Microsoft user interface that happened in 2011 and give some predictions of what I believe will happen in 2012. So 2011 saw a lot of improvements, mostly centered around making it easier for advertisers to engage with the interface. So this includes being able to see ad groups, campaigns, ads, and keywords all from one view using the tabs, much like what was in the Google interface. It made it a lot easier to navigate between them and saved a lot of time. And along the lines of saving time, they also made it easier to do inline editing. So now instead of editing keywords by going to a separate page, you can do it right on the page to make a quick bid change or something like that that's necessary. So that seemed to be their focus in 2011, and I think that's going to continue in 2012, mostly focusing on improvements that make advertisers want to engage with the interface a little more to see if they can carve out some market share. I think this will include a desktop editor for Mac. I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, I think that will happen. I also think that they will enable some reporting features that will make it a little easier to run data, such as segmenting by device or by average position or geography. So instead of having to go to an external tab and run a report, you'll be able to look within your campaign, segment by device, and that will save a lot of time and be a lot more useful. I also think they're going to do some things to make quality of traffic and quality of leads improve. I think that will include cracking down on some search partners who may be sending less quality traffic and less quality leads to their advertisers. And so they'll do that there and on the content network. I think both of those things will improve.
So I think the biggest change in 2011 wasn't necessarily all on the part of the search engines, but I really feel like for us as an agency, there's a really big focus on segmentation in 2011. And there was just more tools to be able to do that. So we were segmenting our targeting groups by like intent or by device or by the type of ad that we were showing. So whether that was interest category or contextual or remarketing. And then even further, like in remarketing, for example, are they homepage visitors? Are they cart abandoners? And just having separate campaigns for all of this, which allowed us to really hone in on exactly what the behaviors were on all of our clients. You know, in the past we did this as well, but it was just on a much smaller scale. And for us here at Hannafin, we really made that a focus this year, which was awesome because you can really kind of pick out the individual pieces of a certain idea that are effective or aren't effective. So you're taking much smaller segments of targeting, which in turn allows you to be more successful in the long run. So we are canceling out display network, for example, because as a whole, because there are certain segments of display that may work. Whereas in the past, when there wasn't as many targeting options, you might turn on a display campaign and say, this really isn't for me, but maybe there were little segments that did actually work. So just using segmentation and really granular segmentation as a best practice has been the biggest turnaround for us. And going forward into 2012, it's probably kind of cliche at this point, but I still feel that mobile and probably tablet are going to be the biggest opportunities in the next year. We're kind of beating it down people's throats, so we get it beaten down our throat recently as well. It seems to be a lot of the focus anytime we meet with a Google team. But our mobile devices are only getting better. They are really awesome. The browsers are really well supported. The new phones that are coming out are amazingly fast, and 4G is amazingly fast. So I think that people are just going to be, they're going to be on their phones more often. More people are going to have smartphones, and so there's going to be just a continual increase in terms of the market for mobile and also in tablet. Probably a little more so in tablet maybe this year from over last year in terms of like segmenting tablet-only behaviors. But mobile, particularly right now, is on such a steep path that I think that's going to be the area for growth.
So for one of the greatest things I think that happened in 2011 with Bing and Yahoo is the fact that they came up with implicit and explicit bidding. This made our lives a heck of a lot easier, and basically implicit is what they had been running for a long time, although they just came up with a new name for it. It's really inherited bidding, so all of your match types have the same bid price. What they did with explicit bidding is they figured out their algorithm and that exact is the best match type that you can use for their platform, and then they go to broad, and then they go to phrase. So based on different levels of spend that you want to put into your account and based on the different bids, this actually works really, really well on the Bing platform. So that was the greatest thing that I found that Bing actually did in 2011. So for 2012, I'd really like to see them improve more on different things within their platform. I hope that maybe someday that the interface actually becomes more and more like Google and that it's a lot easier to use. The user functionality is huge, and we just really, really want to see things get easier and quicker and more efficient. So that's what I'm hoping for 2012.
So as I briefly mentioned, Google's top versus side data. In 2011, Google enhanced the feature formerly known as first page bid estimates to allow you to segregate your campaign data by top and side page performance, obviously just on the first page. So that allows you to see specifically how your campaigns are performing on page by a better idea of where your ads are populating. And then as part of that, Google also started giving you an estimated top page bid, which is a little more clear than their previous first page bid. My predictions for 2012, I think Google will continue to narrow that focus. Maybe they'll give you average bid estimates by a specific position, and maybe you can input that data. I guess that's my main prediction. I think their bid estimates will continue to get more and more granular in 2012, so I'm sticking with that.
I think the greatest addition to AdWords PPC in 2011 was the multi-channel funnels. I have a lot of clients where their sales cycle is longer. There's usually more clicks to the initial click on an ad or click on the SEO to the conversion, so they switch back and forth from PPC SEO. And before multi-channel funnels was introduced, we could only report on the conversions that were first clicked from PPC and then converted later. So it's nice now that I can show not only the direct revenue that came from PPC, but also the attributed revenue, because a lot of times the initial interaction between a client or a potential client and then the brand was with the PPC click, but then they would come back and convert later. But now you can actually see the revenue, so you're getting a clearer picture of the value that you're investing into your PPC.
My favorite PPC changes for 2011 are both sort of based around ad extensions, and the first one is going to be the addition of the social extension, and then the second one is the addition of embedded site links within your ad copy. And as far as 2012, I'm really excited to see just how far we can take social extensions and whether we'll be able to eventually start targeting how many Facebook likes or Twitter followers we have within an extension on our ad copy.